Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the sixth grade concept of interpreting numeric data. This is standard 6.13a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 29 of the 2025 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. Right, so we've got a histogram, and we will need to interpret that. And we need to find a true statement. So managers of a tire store is asking customers how many miles they drove last week, and we've got a histogram here. The title is miles driven last week, but I'm going to keep that off the screen so we can see our answer selections in the two different axes. All right, so on our x-axis going across, we've got our distance. And then on our y-axis going up and down, we've got the numbers. Now here's the interesting thing about a histogram. Histogram has ranges. Okay, it looks like a bar graph, but look at these ranges: 0 to 49, 50 to 99, 100 to 149, 150 to 199, and greater than or equal to 200. So they're buckets. Any number, any response that falls within 0 to 49 is going to come in here. And we see we've got 15 right there. Any response that is between 50 and 99 is going to be right here, and there were 30 responses. Now, what were the exact 30 responses? We don't know. When you get data from a histogram, you don't know whether all 30 of those responses were exactly 99, all 30 were 50, or if they were spread out. So we don't know that kind of data. So we've got 35 right here, but the rest of it acts just like a traditional bar graph that we've been looking at since kindergarten and first grade. So let's go ahead and label this. And then my 200 is going to be 30. Because now, once we've done that, we're simply just looking at the statements. They're going to give us some basic equations written in verbal form or written form. And then we're going to see if they are true or not. So A, we're looking for the one that's true. The number of customers who drove 150 miles or more. Okay, so 150 miles or more, that's a trick, because this is 150 miles, but if I'm going to say or more, I actually need to add that 200 in there. So that's 80. It's not just the 50, because or more includes anything to the right of that as well. Is the same number equals the number of customers who drove less than 150. All right, so where's my less than 150? So here's my less than 150. So that's 80. Less than 150 is going to be the bottom three. So that's going to be 15 and 35 make 50. All right. Well, it looks like that is a true statement. So I'm going to put a check on that. But rather than getting excited and moving on, we always need to check B, C, and D. Because if another one is true, well, then we made a mistake. Let's change colors. Let's go here. More customers drove 50 miles than any other distance. Well, first off, like I said, we have no idea how many drove 50 miles. We don't. It never tells us. We know that there were 30 people that drove 50 to 99, but 0 people could have driven 50, and we would still get 30 in there because they all could have driven 51 or 52. So histograms do not get us exact information. And even if for some reason we thought they all drove 50, this bucket is 30. We've got 50 people over 150 and 199. But that doesn't help us because we don't know how many people drove 50. Okay, so we cannot answer that. The number of customers who drove 50 to 99 miles, okay, so that's 30. That's easy, that's right there. Is less than the number of customers who drove 200 miles or more. There's my 200 miles or more. That's 30. Is 30 less than 30? Of course not. And then finally, let's look at our D. More customers drove 30 miles than drove any other distance. Same thing. We don't know how many people drove 30 miles. It does not give us exact data. It's a histogram. So B and D are wrong just because they don't give us exact data. C is the only other one we can evaluate, and 30 is not less than 30. So the answer is A.